That's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.
Oh my God, it's a shank. He decided to re-tee. That's a shank. Oh, man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Two-Way Miss podcast. We thank you for joining us whenever you are on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure if you are watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter at the Two-Way Miss. Follow us on Instagram, B&B Podcasts. You know the drill by now, but we thank you for being back here. As always, we can't go too much farther without saying a good Postmasters week hello to the good buddy Banksy. Banksy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, thank you. Finally getting some warm weather around here.
Finally. I know, it was like 78 today.
Yeah, how about it, huh?
First time I played baseball in the warm in like 3 months.
Yeah.
Yep, it's good. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about, bud. It was
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it. I think I've been struggling to wonder what I want to call this Masters. Have you figured it out yet? Because I have not. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, a lot of different emotions, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint just what you were feeling. The build up the week of is just so exciting.
Yeah.
Watching these guys hit balls on the range. Even the week before, like I love this women's amateur tournament to get the week before to be able to see the golf course ahead of time is just awesome. And then, obviously, Tiger coming and playing and as much camera time and, see this guy opening up in interviews a little bit more. And then you got the Scottie. There's just a whole bunch of stuff happened, right? So you're just kind of all over the place.
There's a lot to talk about. Let's start with the cat.
All right.
I mean, I think we talked about this on the preview show, but just an unbelievable accomplishment to make the cut.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like there's been enough places that have gone through sort of the players that he beat, that he made the cut over.
Yep.
Jordan Spieth, Brooks Koepka, Schauffele, just to name a few. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Gary Woodland, Justin Rose, Francesco. Like you go down the line. Bryson, oh my God, Bryson, he looked terrible.
He's getting surgery.
I saw that.
He's getting surgery.
Right before they announced him in that live golf venture. That's a different podcast.
Different. Yeah. Let's not take away from.
Let's not take away from the Masters.
This is a happy episode.
Look, his leg obviously got worse and worse over the 4 days. You could tell when he started pulling the driver left that he really can't turn on that ankle. It just doesn't move. So his whole upper body just torques through everything. And you could see he was getting too fast and he was unable to sort of rotate through with his lower half to save it. That was causing the pull drivers.
Yeah.
And the first one he pulled on the first day, he did it, and then he went you saw him grimace, and it was just like, oh no. And then he starts limping down the fairway, and you're just like, how could he keep going? How could he do it? Yeah. And he played for 4 days, and then I saw someone put a video up of his walk down 6 on Sunday, and his leg is going like this, it's bending the wrong direction when he's trying to limp down the hill on 6. And it's like, you couldn't name another golfer on the planet that would do that. You couldn't name any other golfer that would endure that much pain to play and try hard enough to make the cut. I mean, we've talked about it a bunch, and it's one of your big pet peeves that these guys just don't care enough. And I don't think anybody besides Tiger would care enough to do what he did. And it's just remarkable. You can't say much more about the guy at this point. It's unbelievable what he does and the sort of mental perseverance he has.
Yeah, the fact that guy still wants to play, other than outside of, playing his home club and,
Mm-hmm.
taking carts and, playing with Charlie, just messing around, that he still wants to competitively play. It's incredible. And it's just something that I hope, we're not taking for granted. I mean, it's amazing. And yeah, I get it. Like the pain, the swelling, the amount of preparation and post round stuff he has to do, pre round stuff he has to do just to get able to play. But at the same time, now he's essentially committed to more tournaments this year.
He
So
committed to the Open.
the Open, and I know he's inquired about the U.S. Open, but hasn't committed. I think he's holding a spot. They're
Yeah.
basically holding a spot for him. So I guess that's the good news out of everything that did happen this week, and whatever he did feel. It obviously isn't bad enough to be like, you know what, I tried, I can't, I'm not doing it
Yeah.
anymore. Which again, it's just, we get to see this guy play at least a couple more times.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be like the theme every time that we hear him. Like, people just need to not take it for granted and be like, well, we get to see him a few more times.
Yeah. I just don't know how you, like, what do you say if you're Xander Schauffele or Brooks Koepka? I know Jordan's going through his swing thing, whatever. Bryson has the wrist thing, so maybe you give him a pass for that. But
Yeah.
it's like, and you've talked about it, like, luckily DJ played better.
Yeah, thank God. It was nice to see him at least get some TV time
Yeah.
because he was playing decent.
Right.
And for goodness sakes, like, stick with that putter.
Yeah, right.
Like, stick with that putter, buddy.
Right.
That's your stick.
I mean, but even when you think about it, even with Tiger shooting +6 in the last round, he beat Adam Scott, he beat Max Homa, Daniel Berger, like Tyrrell Hatton. Like,
I think he was absolutely gassed.
oh my God, yeah. Mm-hmm.
After the first round. And then with the weather that came through, I think he was absolutely, because I don't even think he knew exactly how his body was going to handle walking that golf course. And, because now, you have, he's always been a mental giant, always been able to, but, later in his career, he's got that physical thing that he has to worry about too. I think he was absolutely gassed after the first round. And the fact that he was able to scrape together a decent enough round on Friday to then make the cut and then finish, it's incredible. But I think he took this as a learning experience too. Like, I think he has a better understanding of what his body is going to feel like and what it's going to take to continue playing in tournaments. And honestly, I mean, this has to be the toughest walk. With the tournaments that he's going to play in, this has to be the toughest walk.
Toughest walk, yes. I think toughest from a golf and like swing standpoint will be the U.S. Open. Like, if they grow up the rough, like, he's gonna tear himself apart trying to hack through that stuff.
That's gonna be interesting.
Obviously, St. Andrews is flat.
Yeah.
So,
but I think this was a good test for his body, right? Like, this is the most undulated, hilly course that I'm gonna walk all year. If I can, if I can get through this golf course, I can get through other golf courses. And I think this gives him a jumping off point in a sense of, well, what do I need to do to get my body situated that I can keep pushing myself more and more. I mean, there was parts that looked great. I actually thought his chipping and pitch shots were a little off.
Yeah, they were.
And it almost like the ball didn't have that grab
Mm-hmm.
that we're used to. And one of the things I was thinking, what did he switch ball? He always played the higher spin golf balls to control it more.
Mm-hmm.
Now when you do that, you give up a little bit of distance.
Yeah.
I'm almost wondering if did he switch balls to get a little more distance, but then they didn't have quite the grab around the greens. I just felt a lot of his chip shots really like ran out a little further. Like he's trying to play that spinner where
Yeah.
bounce, stop. And I feel like a lot of his pitch shots kind of rolled out a little further than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I could be totally wrong with the ball thing, but it was a theory.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like he was hitting the shot he wanted to, but the ball just wasn't quite grabbing like he
Yeah, and it's
usually
funny
does
that you
during-
would say that because like all his iron shots came up short almost all week.
Yeah.
He was like not a half club, but he was 5-10
Yeah.
yards short on a lot of his iron shots. And I don't know if he was mishitting it, if he's still just dialing in that distance control. Tiger Woods generally doesn't mishit a lot of balls, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an interesting theory for sure.
Yeah.
I just
Did
think,
you notice that? Did you think
I didn't
some of
notice
his-
that particular part of it. I think I picked up more on the general sense that everyone was sort of saying that, well, this is all he has been doing at home, is chipping and putting just to keep his
Yeah.
body in the best shape he can. So I was a little surprised at how it wasn't going as well as I would expect if that's all. I mean, Tiger Woods is one of the all-time greatest short game players of, ever.
Right.
So I didn't notice the spin in particular, but now that I think back to it, it makes a ton of sense because that did happen a bunch.
Yeah. They just rolled out a little further
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah, to me, it just felt like I wish Tiger could develop. Someone's used this term before, but like a second serve driver swing. Like just something that goes 285, 290 with a little baby cut and just something that he could always. I know for a lot of his years, that's been the 3-wood,
Yeah.
when he pulls that out. But like, I just want him to just take 3 miles an hour off the golf swing.
Well, take his practice round swing. Like just hit your
Yeah,
practice round
right.
swing.
Because I think he goes out there and he gets so competitive that he tries to get it out there with those guys.
Mhm.
And again, he wasn't playing with bombers. He was playing with Louis. And I mean, Neiman hits it pretty well. He's not a bomber by any means, but still gets it out there.
Yeah.
And even when he, playing with Kisner's not a bomber. And well, Rahm, obviously, when you play with Rahm, he crushes the ball, but he didn't play well this week either. I just wish he would take a step back from that and just try and control where the ball is going. I mean, his scrambling in the first few rounds was just unbelievable. Where he was saving par from
Oh, I know.
was
It
just
incredible.
unbelievable. And he's the greatest scrambler ever.
Yeah.
So it's not uncharacteristic, but I just wish he would stop trying to chase those guys. And I'm sure there's a number in his head that he wants to be at to think that he can still swing with those guys, like the DJs and the Xanders and, maybe not a Rory and DJ might just be a little too long for him. And I think he knows that, but guys like Xander or Colin Morikawa and guys like that. But I just wish he would take a little off it and just be cool with 290, 295. There aren't a lot of courses in the world that Tiger Woods still isn't going to be competitive from those numbers because he's the greatest iron player of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought he was trying to do a little too much with the driver. I sort of wished, like you said, he took a more conservative approach, especially with the wind the way it was. I felt like he could have just hit these easy drivers or 3-woods around it all over the place and been perfectly fine. And then it just looked to me like his iron distances weren't dialed. And how could they be after you
Right.
play on your backyard course
Yeah.
for almost a
You're-
year? Or you're going down to, medalist and, you know, playing a little bit, but who knows how many times he even got out there. But that's just what it seemed like to me. And he still makes the cut, and he still scores decently. And I think if this was his second or third competitive round, those scores would have been a lot better. But I think you're right. He was gassed. He was done. His body was done.
And I don't think there was ever a question of him playing before the Masters, because it's like, if I'm going to go down, if I'm not going to be able to play anymore, it's not going to be at a different tournament.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, if I'm going down, it's happening at Augusta.
Right.
But yeah, it's you know, and as you know, we talk about the ball striking and the driver's swing, but he had Saturday had 36 putts.
Yeah.
That's, for him, I mean, that's terrible.
Too many. Yep.
I mean,
that's
really bad. I mean, you never see that.
Yeah.
So again, is that just the mental and physical exhaustion? I think that had something to do with it, because Tiger Woods is not, again, one of the greatest putters of all time. I just think he was completely gassed.
Yeah. I think so too. He wasn't misreading a lot of putts. He was not missing by a ton all the time.
Right.
He was just missing maybe a ball, or, you know, a ball and a half, a ball here. So he wasn't far off, but he wasn't as sharp as 36 is a lot of putts for that guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
look, we're going to see it a little more.
I know. As of right now, we at least have one fully committed.
That's right. We have the Open.
Tournament at the Open.
And there's a place where he doesn't have to hit driver. Ever.
Right. Ever.
Which I think is a huge plus for him.
So we shall see him again, and I feel like we could elaborate more on Tiger, but it's almost like when you start talking about it, you're still processing what.
Yeah, you can't put the right words to it. We could sit here in silence just trying to figure out how we want to describe.
Yeah, and too, we didn't know what to expect either, right? Okay, you go out and shoot 71 on Thursday, and you're sitting there like, like, is he going to throw like a 67 out on Friday? Like, is he going to be, you know, in this? And then you kind of see the, like, okay, and then but you kind of see some of the scores go up a little bit, and then you do sit back, okay, like, it's not going to be the 67. He's probably not going to be in contention, but let's sit back and enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like reprocess what he's doing.
Yeah.
With the body that he has left. And you know, just taking on the challenge of walking that golf course for 4 days. And finishing, you know, it's funny. When he came off 18, they followed him to his kids and his fiance, I guess, and his mom, and she's got a cane with her.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, don't hand that off. Like, Tiger, you're still on camera. Don't take it.
That would have been hilarious.
Thought she brought that down for him.
That
Don't
been
do
really
it.
funny.
You're still on camera. Don't do it.
That would have been good.
But,
all right.
You know, and last thing, he did sound, I mean, all his interviews, right? He sounds upbeat, right? Not like, yeah, I can't do this. This sucks. He sounds upbeat. We'll stay tuned, and you know, like I said earlier, take it as a privilege that we're going to get to see this guy play again.
Yeah, it will never exist a guy like that again.
No.
In this sport. All right, let's run through the top 10, excluding the top 2, because I think we can talk about them by themselves. But let's run through the rest of the top 10 and see if anything catches your eye to talk about. I have a couple ideas, but Cam Champ, like T10 in the Masters out of nowhere.
Yeah, hardly saw him at all. Did he get any Did we see
He was
him?
he was a featured group on
Okay.
Saturday or Sunday. He was playing with, oh my God, Finau. He was playing with Finau Saturday or Sunday in a
Okay.
featured group. That was the most
Okay.
I saw him.
Yeah.
I mean, Sung J M had the lead for one go. Good for him. Top 10 in a major. Justin Thomas gets the top 10 after shooting just a horrendous opening 76.
Yeah.
Like,
And then the explanation is just weird. And I think he thought it was weird too. Like he almost sounded, he almost sounded like he couldn't say it, but like to try to explain that he was just unfocused and not being able to concentrate. Like what an interesting
how is that
situation.
possible?
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting situation, and he tried to explain it, but it's hard to comprehend that. I wasn't.
I don't get what happens to that guy when he steps onto majors anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe that explains the past couple years. Maybe that explains it. Maybe he finally got it out in the open. What has been happening? Because we couldn't explain it.
Right.
How does a guy with that kind of talent look so bad during these
Right.
tournaments?
Yeah.
It's not a good excuse. Like,
That was my guy. That was my guy. I was
it
trying
was.
to.
Well, listen,
I was-
mine didn't do great. So your pick was better than mine. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Corey Connors, T6, along with Will. Will, again, another top 10 in a Masters, man.
Willie.
Again, I didn't see one shot of his. Not a single
Yeah.
shot. Granted, I watched a lot of featured group. I didn't watch the broadcast because I hate the commercials. I just don't want to. Even though they present it like with limited commercials and all that stuff, which thank God.
Mhm.
I was watching featured groups. I just had a
Yeah,
blast watching it.
I didn't see too much of Will either. I heard his name a few times. But yeah, who knows? I mean,
He keeps sneaking into these, like, he was second last year, right? Another top 10.
Yep.
Crazy. Good for Willie
Good for you, Will.
with his infinity putter stroke, the figure 8 putting stroke.
Yeah, it's like a little dance party
Yep.
down the green.
Someone said that he's intentionally hitting it off the toe, like he's doing it on purpose now when he putts.
It's. I won't get into it a lot because it didn't last long. Like I actually putted off the toe for a while a couple years ago, just because for whatever reason it worked.
Yeah.
And then it went away. So I mean, when you're not a great putter, like myself and Will Zalatoris, whatever you feel.
Yeah,
sometimes
right. You just ride that feel, right?
You,
if it's working, it's working.
You just go with it. Yeah. Yeah. I think Spieth needs to start playing around a little bit, maybe.
Something. Yeah, we can get into him in a little bit, but let's finish out this top 10.
Yep.
My boy Colin gets a top 5 in a major. Good for him. Sunday 67, playing with Rory. Cam Smith, a disappointing Sunday. I think a lot of us. I think we expected him to sort of maybe try and stay on Scottie's heels a little bit and make it interesting, but he wasn't able to do it.
Yeah. Well, he did for the first 2 holes.
Yeah, and then not so much. Shane Lowry getting a T3 in the Masters.
Yeah. How about it?
Crazy. Shooting 273s, but then a 68, 69.
Yep.
Good for him. All right. So let's talk our boy Rory. He just
Crazy.
Why does he have to tease us like this? Why can't this happen all the time?
I know. That was incredible.
It was unbelievable.
It was incredible.
Let's just look at it. He went out, shoots a 64, no bogeys.
Yep.
Just a clean round. 6 birdies and an eagle.
completely in the zone, right? Like, what when I feel like if I get in a zone out on the golf course, I'm having like tap in pars,
Yeah,
right?
right.
That's me being in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
You get these guys in the zone, and you're having tap in birdies. Every shot you hit is going right where you want it,
Yep.
and that was incredible. I think it probably rejuvenated him a little bit because he hasn't
I mean,
played like that in forever.
yeah, and especially here.
Like that's got to make him, I mean, almost like a career boost, I feel like, because he has not played well.
But why can't it happen
I don't know.
every day?
I don't know.
Why
I hate
is it always these Sundays when he's out of contention and he's not going to win? He throws up these numbers just to sneak back into that top 5 or top 10. And it's like, dude, if this is in there, why is it not coming out every day?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But like when you see those kind of rounds and see the shots that he was hitting, I mean that was it was incredible.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Absolutely incredible.
It's where all the, like, it's just what brings us back to all that talent. It's what makes
Yep.
us so disappointed and frustrated when it doesn't work.
And we're not even saying doesn't work. I mean, doesn't work at all. Like he haven't seen him win all that much.
Yeah.
He hasn't really been in contention in the major. So like it's not like he's there every week in the top 10.
Right.
And he's just not winning. Like he's gone. But yet he has that kind of talent available to him. And
It just,
playing week in and week out. And then to show us what he showed us on Sunday, like our expectation should be a lot higher for this guy.
rounds like that aren't flukes for guys like Rory.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you say a Francesco Molinari comes out and shoots 64. Like, that's just him at his absolute peak. And for guys like Rory and Justin Thomas and DJ and, Xander even, or guys like that in the top 10, 20, 25 in the world, those rounds aren't anomalies, or they shouldn't be when you have the talent level of a Rory McIlroy. Those rounds just shouldn't be ones that we look at and go, oh, good for him. He put it all together. Good for him. He figured it out for one round. It's like, no, this is our expectation. This is what we expect of you all the time. And again, that has so much Tiger on top of it, those expectations. But when you do stuff like this, I don't know how you can't ask, why is this not a more regular thing?
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, we're not, and again, for us, it always goes back to the consistency and dominance of Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Think about all these, what are considered great players that have come and gone. And every time these guys get on this hot streak, it's like, oh my gosh, like, are they the next Tiger, or are they gonna, string together 5 seasons like Tiger? Think about, we had, Jordan Spieth go through that time, those couple years, that time where it looked like he was going to win everything, and now we see where he's at now. Jason Day, there was a period of time where Jason Day seemed like he was going to win every single tournament.
Brooks
and
Koepka.
Now, Koepka, Rory, and now we're, kind of seeing it with Scheffler, right? Like, how long is that going to?
Just on an absolute heater.
How long is that going to last? Like, Tiger came out and did it.
Tiger has only missed one cut at the Masters.
And that was
in 1996 when he was an amateur.
When he was an amateur. Yeah.
One cut since 1997.
So I don't know why. I don't know why these guys just always seem to fall off. How they can have it for an extended period of time, and that's why we see a new guy, the number one player in the world, every other week.
Yeah.
And every time somebody gets to number one, the media is, oh, how does it feel? How does it feel? Like, to be honest, guys, it shouldn't feel like shit, because nobody plays well enough consistently and long enough to
hold
stay
on
there.
to it.
To hold on to it. I mean, Dustin Johnson, I think, had it for a while, a couple of years ago, but now it seems like every tournament there's a new number one player. So, are we ever going to see somebody take that number one player in the world and actually make us feel like, okay, yeah, you are the number one player in the world because you've been there for like 6 months, 7 months,
Not for
a
as
year.
long. Nope, not for that long.
No?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I just don't, until another Tiger comes along. Listen, every sport has generational talents. So eventually there will be somebody who goes for Jack's major record, who tries to compete for Tiger's major record, who tries to compete for Tiger's win record, all those things. There eventually will be somebody. You know, the generation before us had Nicklaus and Palmer, Gary Player. So it happens. It happens every generation, and we had ours, and we might have had the best one. So I'm not saying anyone's ever going to beat him or get close to him, but there will be a golfer down the road, at the end of our lifetime, who comes around and tries to go for those records. Do I think he'll beat them? No. But someone will start to try and get close, because it just happens. Generational players happen, right? We've had Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Dr. J, Kobe, Kareem Abdul, Magic Johnson. In basketball, you have them. In baseball, you have them. It's not something that golf, it's a little slower, and they don't happen as often, and there's not as many of them clustered together. When you have Bird and Magic, and when you have, Michael was by himself, but when you have LeBron and Kobe, and, in basketball, it's a little more clustered up. In baseball, there's one or two, every 10, 15 years. In golf, it takes longer. And I don't think there'll be many people who challenge Tiger's, weeks at world number one or major record or 82 wins and all those things. But there'll be somebody who tries. There'll be somebody who gets to 65 wins.
Charlie Woods.
Hey, sure, why not? Why not? Pencil him in for him.
Yeah, why not? But we've seen so many guys that the media latches on to.
They have to. What else do you do when no one else moves the needle, like the person who's still alive? Tiger Woods can come to any tournament and move the needle more than all of these top 25 guys put together.
Yeah.
So they have to do something. They have to try and get golf to seem interesting. They have to try and get golf to have superstars. And the guys they peg are the most talented golfers on the planet right now. But they are not generational talents. They are not, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tiger Woods level talent. And maybe we shouldn't expect them to be, because those people don't come along that often.
I don't think we can. I mean,
yeah,
we're running out of guys. I mean,
no, we can't. We can't.
Yeah, it was DJ. It was Rory. Rory. I think Rory gave us the best in the beginning, right? Like he had a lot of people.
Yep.
Because he has everything. He's got the swing. He's got the gear. Like he got himself in tip-top shape. He crushed the ball. When he's confident with the putter, he's making putts. Like, I think early on, when Rory got his, especially those first three majors, I think, he was the glimmer of hope that, all right, this guy's going to be the guy for a long time.
Yeah.
but then it all just fades away.
Yeah.
Spieth came along, it faded away. Jason Day, like that guy, you barely see him anymore. Yeah, it's interesting. And maybe that's how it's always been in golf. I don't know, like going back, because golf is such an extended career, such a long, you have to go back years and years and years. Like, who are these other guys? Is that how it's always been? Where, he's going to be the next generational talent, the next best player, and then it's like, okay, well, he had a great run for like
Yeah.
a season,
And that's it.
and then that's it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So, but
All
yeah,
right.
anyway, Rory, that incredible round. Would you say on 18, one of the best golf shots you've ever seen from the bunker,
I couldn't tell you the last person I remember holding out from there.
followed by the worst celebration you've ever seen?
Oh, yeah. It's like he forgot.
Like he did, yeah, he like blacked out and
Yeah. He had no idea
Like,
what to do.
kind of threw his club,
Went like chicken wing. He just
and
like.
then tried to
yeah,
like
yeah,
put a spell
Yeah. Yeah.
on
It was
the
terrible.
Like, did he,
it was terrible.
It was bad. Like, you'd almost want to go out and hire somebody to like
Yeah, listen.
rehearse.
He hasn't had
Like,
a lot of opportunities lately. He was
Yeah.
out of practice.
Like, let's rehearse proper celebrations, right? Like, almost the movie Hitch with Will Smith
Yeah.
and Kevin James. Kevin James is trying to do all his. He's like, no, this is where you live. So Rory, none of this.
Nope.
No.
He hadn't practiced. He hadn't had
Just-
practice.
Just live right here. There you go. Live right there, buddy.
Yep. Yep. He botched the celebration for sure. All right, man. Should we
All
talk
right.
about the guy who won?
Yeah, let's give Scotty some.
So listen,
Scotty
he's
some
just
love.
the hottest golfer on the planet.
Mhm.
And I think you and I are guilty of this. We came into this not expecting a lot because we haven't seen him play a lot of majors. We haven't seen him do well in a lot of majors. This was a huge opportunity to show himself as that guy. And that's what he did. And good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him to ride that level of play into a place where you don't have a huge history and play that well. I wish he could have played. I think he played a little conservative on Sunday, and I kind of wish he had just sort of put the pedal to the metal, but it is what it is. 4 putting on 18 is kind of anticlimactic, but
I said to another one of our buddies, I said, if I envision myself winning a Masters in that way, a good old solid,
a good old
solid
4-putt to
solid
finish it off.
Yeah. But he was hitting some squirrely shots. I mean, I don't think everything was totally clicking.
No.
So to your conservative point, I mean, he might have been in crisis management mode for a little bit, and honestly, what got his round going is a bladed wedge that hit on 3, right?
Yep.
Like, that wasn't a pretty shot.
No, not at all.
The end result was great,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a pretty shot. And I think with Scotty too, like, he doesn't do anything like awesomely well, right? So he's just an all-around really, really good player.
Yes.
But he's not, he's long,
Yep.
but the other guys are long. Like, there's nothing that he does that's just like, oh my God, that's the best they've ever seen. He's just on an incredible hot streak right now. And he followed through to the finish line. And I mean, that's pretty good to be able to 4-putt and still win by 3 shots.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
I don't know. We've seen these runs in golf, right? We talked about Koepka. We talked about Jason Day. Spieth had his run. Scottie just, I mean, listen, you got to give the guy credit. A lot of guys might be on a hot streak coming into Augusta and then sort of get caught up in the pressure of it and not close it out. And Scottie did. And he putted his ass off all week long. He saved par. It seemed like every time he had a chance to, he was making the shot he needed to save par.
Yeah.
And that's what you need. That's what you need when the conditions got tough on Friday and Saturday. When they loosened back up. I mean, again, he didn't blow the doors off. It was really his round, Thursday and Friday that got him around. That 67 on Friday was obviously his best round and impressive on a day that not a lot of guys were going that low.
So does that give, and I think that's part of the mystery of Scottie a little bit. Like he's on this incredible hot streak, yeah, but we don't know how long that's going to be sustained or what it's going to look like because he doesn't.
It's another one of those things where it's like the dude's a really good player, and
but there's nothing that's like. There's nothing that stands out where he's the best on tour. He does this the best.
No.
So it's who knows and who knows when he's going to play again, right? I'm sure playing that many times and winning that many times in such a short, it's like, do you keep playing feeling hot, or are you just like, dude, I need a break. Like my head, I'm maxed out on concentration.
I'm sure he's going to take a little break here.
Yeah.
You would imagine. But listen, there's not. I think this very much fits into the category of a Spieth, of a Koepka, of a Day. He's on a hot streak. There's nothing that tells me he's going to hold on to this number one spot in the world forever, or even the rest of this, next month. Yeah. He could prove us wrong, just like he did with this tournament. Coming out and winning. But again, I think he just fits into that mold of these guys. I think he's just in that mold of these guys who are really talented for this age, for this generation. And they're going to get on their hot streaks where they put everything together. All the putts fall. All the shots, as bad as they are, he figures out a way to make par. Or get lucky, right? Like you said, on 3 and make a birdie, with a crazy chip shot. That's how it's going to go for these guys. They're going to get on these hot streaks for a couple months. Hopefully it falls around a major time, like Scottie got lucky, it falls around the time of a major and he puts it together to win a pretty big one. But if you had to ask me if he wins another green jacket anytime, my answer is probably no. And that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah. Now he is going to have another, 15 years to prove you wrong.
Yeah, sure. That's great. And I hope, good for him if he does. But
if I had to agree with you, I would.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say, I would say it's going to be very difficult for him to win again, and it'll be curious to see how long this lasts, or if he just becomes another Spieth, another Jason Day, where you get all this fame, you get all this money, you get all this recognition, and it's more based off of your endorsements and your appearance and your brand than it is playing good golf, right? I mean,
so let's just look at this. Let's look at the last 10 years, and you tell me who out of these guys, winners of the Masters, is going to win another one. So Bubba's in there, and he's already done it. So we'll take him out of the equation. Probably not one you said would have, but good for Bubba. He went and did it. Adam Scott, no. Jordan Spieth probably has the best chance, but as of right now, would you say he's going to win another one in the next 5 years?
Blew up on 12 again.
Yeah. 5 years from now, do you think Jordan Spieth has another green jacket?
Oh, man. But here's the thing. Because it was so good for that period of time, you want to say yes because it was so good.
So I think he's he's one of the two on this list that you say yes to that question.
But we're looking what? How long? We're looking 5, 6.
I said 5 years.
When did he win?
He won 2015, so 7 years ago.
So it's been 7 years since we've seen him play that level of golf. So I don't know. Keep going.
Danny Willett. We'll just keep looking for Danny in that Masters, that Champions Dinner picture.
That Champions Dinner.
Sergio.
No.
Patrick Reed.
I hope not.
Tiger Woods. Yes.
Oh.
I can't say no anymore. I've lost my chances. I took my chance this year, and now I'm out. I can't say no anymore.
You can't count the guy out.
Can't. Dustin Johnson. This is the only other one that maybe.
You would hope so. You would hope so.
Hideki. I say no. I think he put everything together for 1 year, and he did it.
The putting is always going to be a Achilles heel for him. And Augusta, you can't to catch hot putter on that course for those 4 days specifically in April. I don't think it'll happen again. No.
And then Scottie. 5 years from now, does Scottie Scheffler have another green jacket? No. Let's even go before then. Let's go to 2005, the last time Tiger won. Phil Mickelson, nope. Zach Johnson, no. Trevor Immelman, no. Angel Cabrera, he's in jail, so no. There's Phil again. Charles, no. Like, we just went through 16, 17 years of Masters champions. And there's one guy on that list that we think maybe could do it.
And
it's a huge maybe right now.
Yeah, and I don't even know why we're saying maybe.
Just because he makes you feel hope. Like, you have to feel hopeful for Jordan Spieth for some reason.
Because here's why. Because out of all those guys, I feel like he actually cares.
Yeah.
I don't know if these other guys, and obviously minus Tiger. I mean,
of course.
I don't know if these guys care. Like, I think Dustin Johnson doesn't care, and he's okay that he doesn't care.
Yeah.
I think that's why we still give Spieth some credit, because it seems like he gives a shit.
I think also a lot of it has to do with we're all waiting for him to figure it out. He is in the wilderness right now. We thought he was kind of on his way back, and something happened from the beginning of the year where he kind of looked okay. Something happened where he's back to the wilderness.
Yeah.
He lost whatever he had, and it's gone.
It is gone.
But I don't think you can make a proper judgment when someone is that far gone. And I don't think any of us believe that he will stay gone. So I think that's why you have to say maybe.
Yeah. But, he's another guy that it's like, what does he do? Again, he's off that hot streak. He's off the hot streak. It's like when you're playing video games and your character lights up. Like, he's on fire. He's not on fire anymore.
NBA Jam 1990 reference. I love it.
So what does he do good enough that he's going to be able to get back to that place like that exceptionally well?
I think his wedges are still up there.
Yeah, the problem is he can get the wedge to 2 feet,
right,
but then
I don't know what is. There used to be never a doubt that Jordan Spieth was going to make a putt. Never.
Yeah.
We never doubted that Jordan Spieth would make a putt when he was on that run. His wilderness has grown. Like, the trees have overrun the forest. You know what I mean? It used to be just the swing, but it's still like, okay, well, he's still one of the best putters in the world. And it's like the trees have overtaken another part of the forest that I don't think any of us were expecting. And he's got to get in there with the machete and hack them down. And it might take a while, but that's what he's got to do.
Yeah. I mean, that's the
But just think,
is,
we just read through 10 years of recent Masters winners, and there's one guy who is currently in the wilderness and cannot make a 2-foot putt, who we said maybe will win another one.
Yeah. So who do you think is going to, and we don't have to go year by year, but just throw out some names that you think is going to win.
I think Rahm will win one.
Rahm?
I think Morikawa will win one.
Mm-hmm. Is JT going to win one?
Not a Masters.
Not a Masters.
I'd put him 4th or 5th.
Is Rory going to win one?
Oh,
Can he take the momentum of Sunday?
Are we giving us 5 years again?
You give it 5, 10. I don't care. I mean, think about the rest of his career.
Does he win one ever?
Is he ever going to win one?
Yes.
Okay. But Justin Thomas is not.
I thought we were on the 5-year window. I think Justin Thomas has a chance in his career to win one. Yes. I also think Brooks has a chance in his career to win one.
That guy.
I think like a Victor Hovland has a chance to win one in his career. I think that I'm trying to think of other guys. Hell, at this point, Will Zalatoris has a better chance than most of them with how he's playing at these tournaments.
4 days of a hot putter. That's the thing. With Will Zalatoris' ball striking, if he would get a hot putter for 4 days,
it's like Hideki.
Like he could break records.
Yeah, it's like Hideki. Yeah.
Like if he just starts rolling them in, like he could shoot.
Yeah.
Significant.
At this point, you can't say that he has a worse chance. Just look at his past few years of his finishes in this tournament.
Does Cam Smith win a Masters?
No, I think Cam is on one of those hot streaks. And I don't think we've seen historically that he is this guy for a long time.
And self-admittedly doesn't practice that much.
Yeah. I just don't think historically he's not that guy.
Yeah.
Like who else? Like let's just go down the leaderboard. Shane Lowry? No.
No, I mean,
Corey Connors? No. Sung Jae Im?
No.
I don't know. I'm just going down the list of like Fleetwood. Do you think he ever wins a Masters?
I can't believe he hasn't won something. I really can't.
Yeah. Like, I think Leishman's past his time. I would have said him maybe. Finau.
Disappointment.
Cantlay, another big disappointment.
Oh, yeah. What? But again, there you go. Another example. Is he done? Like, there we had that guy. Lightning in a bottle. Had a hell of a finish to the season. In my opinion, stole Player of the Year.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
From Jon Rahm.
Absolutely.
And now, what I don't like, you have the momentum of the year of your life last year. You have that momentum carrying you into the next season. And you're nothing. You're a zero.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's like, again,
blows my mind. My mind.
Kevin Kisner? No.
No.
Like Max Homa? Like, I love him, but no. Like Daniel Berger? No. I'm just going down the list. Like Spieth, Koepka missed the cut, but maybe. Abe Answer? No. Xander Schauffele? Maybe.
Again, I thought
like Gary Woodland? No.
I thought Xander with being able to close out the Olympic.
Yeah. No, that has not translated.
there's no breakout season for him. And now we're getting like he was that young guy. Now and again, I don't think he doesn't do anything exceptionally well.
Yeah.
He's just a good all-around player.
Yeah.
And he was that next young generation, young talent to come. And it's like, okay, this guy's going to win.
There are only 9 guys under par.
Really? Is that
this
it?
year? 9.
That's
T10 was even.
Tough. Yeah, conditions were tough.
Yeah. But I just went through the entire leaderboard of the Masters, every player, and there's 7 guys that we think maybe have a chance to win one in their entire career. Win one.
And I don't even know why we're giving that to him. I guess I do know why, but I don't.
Because we need something. We need something. Oh man, it's just. Listen, people, we're getting to the end of the podcast. If you haven't gone back and watched, just pick 2005 for Tiger. Not near his peak, coming off the scandal with his wife, all the other chicks. Oh wait, was it? No, that was 2009. Sorry.
Yeah.
But again,
2005, things were still rolling.
Yeah, things were still rolling in Tiger Juju land.
Yeah.
But again, 2001 is the greatest Tiger Woods you'll ever see in your entire life. That's Tiger Slam. That's Pebble Beach where he wins by 14 or whatever. That is peak Tiger Woods. 4 years later, he goes out and wins 5 tournaments? Wins the Masters again. Like, just pick a random year and go through Tiger Woods's win-loss, top 10s, made cuts list.
Yeah.
And compare it to some of these guys.
Yeah. Minus the years that he was hurt.
Yes, of course.
And God, I pray that the new swing style in the back holds up.
I'm telling you, he needs to just get a 170 mile per hour swing and just be happy there. Be happy hitting it 290, with a little baby cut, and then just rely on being the best iron player that's ever existed.
Yeah.
Because he's still a better iron player than 90% of these dudes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And when he gets his feel back for chipping and putting.
Yeah, that's something to keep an eye on next time we see him play. I really thought that was going to be better. It was a lot shakier than I thought it was going to be. But,
yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
But we had 4 days of Tiger, baby.
We did.
Nothing wrong with that.
It was a good 4 days. Again, good for Scottie Scheffler, Good for him putting a hot streak together. Winning the Masters. Good for you, bud. Amazing what Tiger did. Disappointing from Spieth and Rahm and Koepka. Good for DJ for trying to pull something together and actually maybe caring a little bit.
Yeah.
Rory, you're just a tease and I hate you because you should play like this all the time. But again,
play like that for 2 rounds.
Right.
Play like that for 2 rounds. You win the golf tournament.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
Shoot even par.
Right.
Or shoot over
the rest
par
of the time. Right. And you're
the
good.
rest of the time.
Yep.
Do it 2 times, and you're the champion by multiple shots.
That's right. That's hilarious that's the fact. Oh my gosh, Rory, bastard. Yeah. Anyway, listen, everyone. It was a great Masters week. The Masters is always the best. Nothing is ever like it. Nothing ever hits those spots like the Masters. So we hope that you enjoyed watching the Masters. Hopefully you enjoyed our preview show. Hopefully you enjoy this recap. We hope that you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're putting up videos of every podcast. We'll have some videos of our swings up there soon. I'm going to upload them probably later tonight. We'll upload those videos that we uploaded to Twitter. We'll be playing again sometime soon, Banksy and I, so we'll get some more videos recorded to put up there. Follow us on Twitter at the Two Way Miss. Follow us on Instagram at B&B Podcasts. And then we just, we appreciate everyone listening. We appreciate everyone subscribing to the YouTube channel. We're up to 16 subscribers. It's crazy.
Woo!
Appreciate all of you out there. And we hope that you enjoyed the Masters as much as we do. We will be back next week to talk about there's a big Live Golf announcement coming. Greg Norman said he didn't want to step on the Masters' toes, and announce the players that they've signed. Thanks, Greg. The Masters has always been real concerned about you, so we appreciate it. Anyway, I'm sure that announcement will come out soon, and we'll have that to talk about. So lots of stuff coming up in the world of golf, but thanks everyone for listening or watching wherever you are, whenever you are. We appreciate you, and we will see you on the next one.
Yeah, swing hard, everyone. Get out and play some golf this weekend.
Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.